Today we're speaking with Riad Ardahji, and we're going to talk about demystifying the JIDOKA, transforming machines to be autonomous and to operate without human intervention. So Riad, before we start, can you provide a brief background of yourself?
Sure. I'm Riad Ardahji. Currently, my role is Global Industrial Engineering Lead at Zimmer Biomet, a $8 billion medical device located in Warsaw, Indiana. My role is to transform the company and leverage all resources to optimize and bring value to the organization, if that's people, processes, materials, or methods, so to speak. I've been with the company for 4 years. Prior to that, I've been with the automotive. Half of my career been in working with Japanese companies, and I have a total of about 25 years experience in the industrial engineering arena, Kaizen, TPS, Lean Six Sigma. At the same time, I am also an adjunct faculty for the last 6 years at Indiana Tech. I teach industrial manufacturing engineering, the IME program. I teach computer integrated manufacturing processes, simulation modeling, and safety engineering. Typically, I teach in the evenings. I try to stay engaged with the new engineers and help them to become critical thinkers, and as well as frugal engineers. Always look for not the most expensive, but the best appropriate solution to the problems we face today and tomorrow. My company's prior former employers include Toyota, Bushku, Leggett & Platt, Borg Warner, Denso, and Utilmaster division of Harley Davidson back in days. And I started my career at Saturn plant back in Spring Hill, Tennessee.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, my first question is, what is JIDOKA?
Very good question. A lot of people probably, even Japanese, they struggle with that, as a matter of fact. It's translation simply is automation to English. Automation with a human touch. The JI, if we break it up with the three-portion JIDOKA, and the JI is really basically it's about something, refers to the worker, to the something, the output, and the do is the motion and the work done, and the ka is actually the action. So it's interesting. There is no one word for it. It's a combination. So, but simply automation with a human touch.
Can you talk about why it's important?
Many companies have implemented or implementing Lean, and their model typically is the Toyota production system, the TPS, the Lean house. And many companies done a great job, I think, in the foundation of TPS, the steps, so to speak, the standard work, the leveling, the visual controls, stability of the production processes, the Toyota way philosophy, treating people with respect, making problem visible. And they did a good job with the flow, which typically people, when they mention Lean, the first thing comes to their mind is continuous flow, takt time, right product, right place, right time. However, few, and we're talking few, they crossed to the second pillar and understood the true meaning of JIDOKA, which is, in summary, JIDOKA is about building quality within the machine, never passing on a bad product to the next process. It's about and-ons, auto start, It's about the operator empowered to pull the cord, shut the production line down. It's about decoupling of the process between the machine and the people and remove people from the machine and make them autonomous, automated. It's about visual controls. It's about Poka-yoke, putting airproof in the process, in the cell, in the machine to detect the product and never pass it on, and yet provide some information about that failures, that reject, for the team to solve these problems and prevent them from happening again and again. At the end of the day, TPS is about thinking people system, not Toyota production system. That's the best definition. It's about people and putting the best system in place to make it more robust.
And how can it be implemented effectively?
Another great question. The people, you have to start understanding your process, the products you're working with, and the failure modes, and what issues do you have on the floor, on the process, and solve these problems and figure out the technology that you need to leverage to solve these problems so the operators do not have to deal with them every day like a whack-a-mole. Yet, if they keep coming back, the people are spending time reworking, fixing the problems again and again, but never solve it right to the root cause, just dealing with the symptoms. So one of the things is a cross-functional team needs to be in place. The people that knows the process and knows automation and the technology that's available to help rectify these problems and mitigate the risks of these failures. For an example, I will give you an example, is about, I just shared not long ago. It's about this picture right here. Simple. It's about $300 solution. If you are a bottle manufacturer filling a water bottle or some liquid fluid, and sometimes the level of the fluid goes up and down for some reason or another, causing it to be fluctuating, varying from one level to another. What you can do is consider a beam sensor that will detect the products, whatever meeting your criteria, okay, not okay, and just rejecting, accepting based on the level you need to achieve a successful, okay product to go through. But Judoka is way beyond this solution. It's figuring out why we're having a defect or non-compliant product and understand which filler in the upstream where that bottle came from and understand what's going on. Is it a measurement issue? Is it a clogged line? Is it dispensing? Is it viscosity in the fluid? Or whatever reasons there could be, and trace it back to the root cause and solve this. And this takes a lot of skill from the people, the engineers, the maintenance, right working in that process and solve it. And the beam sensor is just an example. It could be a vision system, could be weight, could be some other thing, whatever works for the company, the cell. And again, we're looking for not the expensive, but the most logical and effective solution. It could be very simple or very easy to do. Any other? That's one example of that. I give you another example in machining, CNC machining, and typically people run products on the machines. And what we do, we load, typically it's a manual load, you load the product, the castings, into the machine and machine it. And the operator is waiting, captive to the machine, till it finished the cycle, then they remove the product and put the next product in. And so this labor force, the operator that has a tons of knowledge, all he or she doing is loading, unloading. Sometimes they check some parts, they measure parts, but to really, truly Judoka is decoupling the person from running the CNC and let the CNC run itself and put a little robot and load, unload the product, Now you remove the machine and the operator away from that process, so he or she can work on problem solving, running another machine, load 2-3 machines at a time. So you can, this is what Judoka, and this is a little bit expensive because a robot may take 25, 30 grand. It's an investment, but the operator is very expensive. They have the tribal knowledge, they have the know-how, they are the SME on the floor. And if you don't do these activities to kind of take them away from being captive and leverage them to solve problems and work on other machines, work on other processes, I think it's not a good situation for a company to be competitive these days. And can you imagine your costs when you have 1-to-1 ratio versus one operator to 3 or 4? The cost will go down dramatically, and your product goes up because now value goes up because now you're running more, because the machine is not waiting on the operator. If he's busy, it's going to be down till he or she reloads it. I hope it makes sense, this example.
Yes, this is very good, and thank you, Riad, for sharing today. Did we
You're welcome.
did we cover all the points you wanted to make?
I guess so. I think one of the things is well, I mean, the reason, again, we need to, I was, as lean experts or as lean people, SMEs, Lean Six Sigma, we need to really drive home, all of us, to educate the masses about Jidoka. The Jidoka started back with Saiichi Toyota, when he started the G-frame on the loom machine. That was the Jidoka, the DNA of TBS. It started with the Toyota developing a poke yoke so the machine will shut down when the line breaks, so it doesn't create defect. And I think we all need to go to the basics, understand this, and how we prevent defects from passing on. And when we stop the line and we stop the process and educate everybody and solve these problems from happening, it takes time, it takes some effort, but the rewards are big, because then you're only building the good products and you're not making defects, and you're containing them in the process where we all need to work and solve them right at the source. And a lot of times in other presentation where the inspection is not the value add and rework and scrap, we need to do it right the first time. And a Jidoka is very key to help you drive that. It's a great tool if it's done correctly. Leverage the people, leverage the technology, and I think we all be successful. And that will transform your lean to a true lean journey to make it robust and very capable. And then you are in a mature lean model at that time, truly, and your house is level, the roof is level, and you can say truly transform your process.
And thank you for sharing today.
Thank you, Matt.